Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's Women's Travel Guide. And this is a special episode for women like you who need a little extra support traveling the world, one woman at a time. This episode is sponsored by Sun Marketing, Advertising, and Media. It's on space travel. I've been traveling independently since 1972, and soon I'll release a second guidebook, Women Travel, 5 Steps to Solo Adventures. Please share this podcast with your parents, loved ones, and future travelers so you can make their trips the very best, like Travel Best. Today's special edition is entirely dedicated to space travel. So first, what will space travel look like in the future? Will we see modules connected together, inflatables, free-flying objects, or what? There are companies out there planning for your visit. For example, Space Destinations at Sierra Space is one, and you've all heard of Bezos Blue Origin, maybe even the Orbital Reef. Today, we'll talk tourism, missions, and adventures in space. As a tourist destination, what do tourists want to do? Are there health or age restrictions? Nope, not at all. And what about families? They're invited. Missions can be days to weeks. Training on the ground will be required for these missions. Now, what about enjoying what's there? Tourism and travel. Let's make it a fun place. How about a restaurant in space? Perhaps we can eat food you grew in space, and we can view the Earth while we eat. Now, for microgravity, we can go outside of the space station and do a walk in a spacesuit. What do you think this is going to cost? Well, the economics say that it could be less than you think. Here's some background. The International Space Station's been continuously occupied since November 2000. There's an international crew of 7 people who live and work while traveling at a speed of 5 miles per second, orbiting Earth about every 90 minutes. So we're thinking it's going to cost maybe $10 million. Home automation in space is going to bring that cost down. And it might be a little overly commercialized at first. You could land on a runway, have your space shuttle, could be autonomous. We could be enabling humanity to begin new civilizations in space. Now, will people live there and be born there? Probably. There's also going to be some intellectual property or IP because special products in space can be developed. How do you manufacture things in space? Well, there's going to be things like gassing and venting, and it's going to be less polluting for Earth's environment. And we may even see this possibly within this decade. I hope you enjoyed this little trip on future travel in space, because overall, my goal is to bring meaning to your travels, and I'd love to see your travel tips on my website, the Facebook page group, or Instagram. You could send your tips to my Twitter, blog, or email. Maybe you'll see your tips in the new travel book.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.